Yeah, today we're learning English with Disney's Aladdin.
I think there's something written here.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
So Izzy, our real-life English fluency coach from Brazil who has native level English, brought us a fantastic clip to learn with today. And he and I are going to be teaching you with it together. But before we get started, if you are new here, every single week we make fun lessons like this for you so that you can understand fast-speaking natives without getting lost, without missing the jokes, and without subtitles. So hit that subscribe button and the bell down below, and that way you won't miss a single new lesson.
Looks like such a beat-up, worthless piece of junk. Hey, I think there's something written here, but it's hard to make out.
Hey! 10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. Hang on a second. Wow! Wow! Does it feel good to be out of there? I'm telling you, nice to be back, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, where are you from? What's your name?
Aladdin.
Aladdin. Hello, Aladdin. Nice to have you on the show. Can we call you Al, or maybe just Din? Or how about Laddie? Sounds like, here, boy. Come on, Laddie.
I must have hit my head harder than I thought.
Do you smoke? Mind if I do? Oh, sorry, Cheetah. Hope I didn't singe the fur. Yo, Rockman. Haven't seen you in a few millennia. Give me some tassel. Yeah. Yo. Say, you're a lot smaller than my last master. Either that or I'm getting bigger. Look at me from the side. Do I look different to you?
Wait a minute. I'm your master?
That's right. He can be taught.
Looks like such a beat-up, worthless piece of junk. Hey, I think there's something written here, but it's hard to make out.
That's a mouthful. That's a long phrase there.
A lot of advanced vocabulary, right?
Mm-hmm. There's like 3 expressions there at least. So what does it mean if you say that something is beat up?
So this can be used as a phrasal verb. And if we say that you beat up somebody, it means that you hurt them, you punch them, and so on. But if we say that something is beat up, you can think of it in a similar sense, that it's something that has been really worn over time. And then he continues with worthless piece of junk. These are all sort of synonymous. So junk is generally things that have no value, and piece of junk is something that we perceive has no value. And worthless means also, it's like literally, worth means value, less is a suffix that means without. So it's like without value. So we have all of this that's just really emphasizing how much he thinks that this thing has no value.
And the way he says that is interesting too.
Looks like such a beat-up, worthless piece of junk.
He connects piece of to just say piece of junk, and also beat up. You can hear that there's connected speech. So you can hear it in American T, replacing that T, and you have a D sound, and it's connected. Beat connects with up to have beat up.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say that something looks beat up or is beat up. And then he goes on to say there's something written there, but it is hard to make out.
It's hard to make out.
What does he mean?
In this context, make out means to be able to see something clearly. So if it's hard to make out, it's probably because exactly what he's saying, because it's old, it's been worn by time. The letters that are on there are very difficult to read.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
A crick in the neck. What is a crick in the neck?
So this is not such a common term. I might say like a pain in the neck. And all of us have experienced this probably if you're in an uncomfortable sleeping position. You'll wake up with a crick in the neck, or you'll wake up having pulled something in your neck. And so maybe a couple hours after, or even a couple days after, you'll just notice the same here, that he's been closed up in this lamp for such a long time, for thousands of years, as he says, that he's got a crick in the neck or a pain in his neck.
And I think this is an expression that we use more often figuratively, not literally. He's literally saying that he feels a pain in his neck.
Mm-hmm.
But How could you use that phrase figuratively in a way that sounds more normal?
So oftentimes it can be used as an insult, especially with kids. So you might say that a kid is being a pain in the neck, meaning that that person is really annoying you and you want them to stop being a pain in the neck.
And there's a lot of connected speech there too. I mean, this whole scene is just full of connected speech, and there's so much. I mean, Genie is this character that it's like your buddy, it's your pal, your friend, is made that way. I think when Robin Williams, the actor, wrote him or decided to interpret this character, he just decided to speak this way too. So there's lots of expressions and connected speech. 10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. How is he saying that?
So crick in the neck, he doesn't pronounce all the words equally. He reduces in the, which happens all the time, right? In the. And the k sound from crick actually connects to the in the. So it's crick in the neck, crick in the neck. So we just have crick and neck that we're emphasizing. And even before that, he says, give you such a. So we have you that oftentimes we reduce to just ya. So it becomes give ya. And such a, we also reduce and connect. So the a reduces to a schwa sound, and becomes such a. Give ya such a crick in the neck.
Okay, so you're watching this lesson, and I'm sure that you have been learning a ton of advanced expressions, advanced words in English. But let me tell you that if you don't review this vocabulary, you will likely forget it very soon. If you want to be able to actually use these words you're learning today next time you get into an English conversation, I have just the perfect solution for you. And that is the deck of vocabulary flashcards of this lesson that we have prepared for you for free on the Real Life app. Let's see how it works. Instead of having to spend a lot of time taking notes of these words that you're learning today, you can review all the vocabulary on the app with just a few clicks with these intelligent flashcards that come with definitions and images. Plus, you get to watch this lesson inside the app, so you can transition between watching and practicing more easily. And most importantly, our app's special algorithm will present you with the vocabulary card you're learning at the exact moment you're about to forget it. So you can transfer your learning from your short-term memory to your long-term memory and remember all the words forever. And just imagine what it would be like if you could remember everything and actually use these words in your conversations. Imagine how confident you would feel with your English and how easily you would be able to express your own thoughts and sound smart, just like you are in your native language, but in English. Imagine communicating confidently in that meeting, in that job interview, in that English test that you have to take, or in that conversation that you may have with a local when you're traveling. So what are you waiting for? Start taking your vocabulary to the next level with this lesson's flashcards. All you need to do is download the Real Life app, which is free, and follow the instructions so you can unlock this exclusive deck of cards. The link is in the description below. Click on it, download it, follow the instructions, and I will see you there.
Hang on a second. Whoa! Wow! Does it feel good to be out of there?
Yeah, hang on a second. It's pretty much just wait a minute.
Mhm.
Or you could even say just hang on. Why is that used, by the way? Like, what do you mean by hang in this case?
Maybe it comes from the telephone that we tend to say, the old telephones that they would hang. Maybe you're telling the other person to hang on as if you were talking to them on the other line, and it just became part of common speech as a way to say wait.
That makes sense. Because like you hang up as well, right?
Which we still use, like even with our smartphones. Even though we're not hanging anything, we still say hang up, you know?
Just to end the call, pretty much.
Exactly.
And then he says, does it feel good to be out of there?
Wow! Does it feel good to be out of there?
Is that a question? I mean, it starts with does it, which is a construction that you'd use if you're going to ask a question, but doesn't sound like a question. So what's happening there?
Yeah, so if you read it, you would think it's a question, right? But there's no question mark. And the intonation is very different here. So he's not saying, does it feel good to be out of there? He's saying, does it feel good to be out of there? So there's a falling intonation rather than a rising intonation that we typically have in American English when asking a question. So we just use this to emphasize. The do is used to emphasize there. So I could say, for example, boy, do I love pizza? I'm not saying, do I love pizza as a question? I'm saying, boy, do I love pizza? And a lot of times we'll do it with a word like this, boy or man, which isn't saying because you're actually talking to a boy or man. It's just another part of the emphasizer there.
I'm telling you, nice to be back, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, where are you from? What's your name?
So he really has this vibe that it feels like he's a talk show host. The way he speaks, some of the expressions that he's using here. So it's like, nice to be back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to The Late Show. Ladies and gentlemen.
But that he follows that with, hi, where are you from? What's your name? There's connected speech there too. How is he saying those two phrases?
Yeah, so he's not saying, where are you from? He even removes one of the auxiliary verbs here. He removes the R. He's saying, where you from? So again, the reduction of you to ya. And then, what's your name? We also have the your reduces to your. And you could even remove the auxiliary verb here and just say, what's your name? What's your name? And if we do it that way, because we have a T plus a Y sound, which typically if you have a Y in a function word like you or your, and the word before it is ending with a T, we'll morph this into a ch sound. So, what's your name?
Aladdin.
Aladdin. Hello, Aladdin. Nice to have you on the show. Can we call you Al, or maybe just Din? Or how about Laddie? Sounds like, here, boy. Come on, Laddie.
Okay, there's a lot going on there. It's so culturally rich. I don't even know if I'm getting all the references, but before we talk about what just happened there with the dog and the guy in Scottish clothes, there is something that he says, can we call you Al?
Can we call you Al, or maybe just Din?
And I remember people in the US, when I was there, they'd call me Iz. My name is already short. My actual name is Izzy. It's not a nickname.
It's 2 syllables. That's too much.
It's 2 syllables. It's just
Things
Iz.
move fast in America.
So is that really that common? Is that a thing in the US?
Yeah, it's totally common. My brother's Alex, and a lot of people call him Al. A lot of people call me E. So it's the same. We do that all the time with people. We have like Justin, for example, that a lot of people call him J-Man.
Or how about Laddie? Sounds like, here, boy. Come on, Laddie.
Genie has these funny things where he's just going off on his own world, right? So Laddie, I believe this comes from Scottish Gaelic. Like they say lass is a girl and laddie, I believe, is a boy. We have some influence from Scottish culture from immigrants and stuff that came from Scotland. So that's why he's bringing that reference and changing the clothing and everything. But then he says it sounds like, here, boy, come on, laddie. Like you're referring to a dog. Like laddie could be a dog's name as well, right? So then he turns into a Scottish dog.
And boy is actually something that in British English you could say just a lad, right?
Yeah, they'll use it, especially in slang, to say like the lads is like the guys, is what we'd say when a guy is getting together with his group of guy friends.
I must have hit my head harder than I thought.
Do you smoke? Mind if I do?
Mind if I do. It's a common phrase that you can hear too. What does it mean?
Super common, yeah. Mind if I do? Do you mind? We can even have some connected speech there. If we ask, do you mind? Do you mind? We say this, we're just asking permission to do something. Does it bother you if I do this thing? In other words. And if you were to respond, you could say, I don't mind at all. So it's good also to know that if someone asks you that, how can you respond? Or you could say, I really do mind. If you're wanting to say, please don't do that.
And then he also said, I must have hit my head harder than I thought. But he doesn't say it that way. He just simply connects must and have reduces to a simple schwa sound. So it's like musta. I must have hit my head harder than I thought.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Musta.
Oh, sorry, Cheetah. Hope I didn't singe the fur. Yo, Rockman. Haven't seen you in a few millennia. Give me some tassel. Ha! Yo. Say, you're a lot smaller than my last master. Either that or I'm getting bigger.
Here we have more references that I think are more American too. Like you'd see this special handshake that he has with the magic carpet. It's something that in sports, in basketball in the US, you'd see players doing that. And I think in other contexts too, more informal context. So he says, I hope I didn't singe the fur.
If you singe something, you burn it slightly. So he's saying he hopes he didn't singe the monkey. I think Abu is the monkey's name. Hopes he didn't singe his fur. Fur being hair of an animal.
And then he directs his attention to the carpet, the magic carpet. And then he starts by saying, yo, Rugman. So you see that they have a connection there, right? They know each other. And then Rugman, that's just like you said, you call Justin J-Man. So this is informal. And a rug is like a mat, it's like a carpet. So Yo, Rugman, haven't seen you in a few millennia. Is millennia, I know that it's like 1,000 years, right? But is millennia the same as millennium?
Millennium is a single group of 1,000 years. And millennia is more than 1,000 years. So 2 millennia, 3 millennia, and so on.
It's like one of those irregular plural forms, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
There are some words that you can see that too. Like one that I like a lot is criteria, but criteria is already the plural, just like millennia. And I believe the singular form is criterion.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Do you have that in English?
Yo, Rockman, haven't seen you in a few millennia. Give me some tassel.
What does this expression mean?
The carpet doesn't have hands, it has tassels. A tassel is just this group of thread that you have. For example, curtains sometimes have tassels. Anything that has different clothing and so can have this. So just like a grouping of sort of loose threads that are left over.
This is just basically him saying like, hey, give me a high five,
Exactly.
but in a very cool way.
In a very creative way.
What would you wish of me?
Did ever impressive.
The long contained,
You often imitated.
but never duplicated, duplicated, Genie of the Lamp. Right here, direct from the lamp, right here for your very much wish fulfillment. Thank you.
Whoa. Wish fulfillment?
3 wishes to be exact. An ixnay on the wishing for more wishes. That's it. 3. Uno, dos, tres. No substitutions, exchanges, or refund.
Now I know I'm dreaming.
So what'll it be, Master?
You're gonna grant me any 3 wishes I want, right?
Almost. There are a few provisos, a couple of quid pro quos.
Like...
Rule number 1, I can't kill anybody.
Yeah, so don't ask.
Rule number 2, I can't make anybody fall in love with anybody else. You little punum there. Rule number 3,
I can't bring people back from the dead. It's not a pretty picture. I don't like doing it.
other than that, you got it.
Provisos? You mean limitations? On wishes? Some all-powerful genie can't even bring people back from the dead. I don't know, Abu. You probably can't even get us out of this cave. Looks like we're gonna have to find a way out of here.
Excuse me? Are you looking at me? Did you rub my lamp? Did you wake me up? Did you bring me here? And all of a sudden you're walking out on me? I don't think so. Not right now. You're getting your wishes, so sit down! In case of emergency, the exits are here, anywhere. Keep your hands and arms inside the carpet. Here! What would you wish of me?
Did ever impressive.
The long contained,
You often imitated.
but never duplicated, duplicated, Genie of the Lamp. Right here, direct from the lamp, right here for your very much wish fulfillment.
This is insane. So, what is he saying there? Like, the ever impressive, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's just kind of a fancy way of speaking. So ever impressive means always impressive in this context. Long contained, it's sort of the same, that the long here just means for a large amount of time. So long contained. He's using some interesting adverbs here, I believe. Long and ever.
The way this is constructed sounds more fancy, right? More sophisticated, even. Just like he's presenting himself, he's introducing himself. And it sounds, again, like he's this talk show host. But then he follows that with, right here for your very much wish fulfillment. What is wish fulfillment?
Yeah, this is a nice collocation. And we have these different words that oftentimes are collocated with wish. So wishes can be fulfilled. That means that basically you're making the wish come true. That's another way, actually, that we'll often say this, to make someone's wish come true. And finally, we could say to grant someone's wish. So all of these things are just saying that you're making the wish a reality.
Wish fulfillment?
3 wishes to be exact. An ixnay on the wishing for more wishes. That's it. 3. Uno, dos, tres. No substitutions, exchanges, or refund.
Ixnay on the wishing for more wishes.
This is what's called Pig Latin, which is a language that kids will sometimes use when they're trying to not be understood maybe by their parents or someone else. And basically, it's just putting the first consonant or the first syllable and moving it to the end. So in the case of ixnay, it would be nix, which nix means to like stop doing something or to eliminate something. So basically he's saying, don't even think about wishing for more wishes, which is everyone's first thought when they come across a genie, is saying, I want 100 more wishes.
Trying to be smart.
That's it. 3. 1, 2, 3. No substitutions, exchanges, or refund.
No substitutions, exchanges, or refunds, which sounds like an ad, right? You'd hear that in ads on TV or even on the internet, meaning you can't ask for your money back, or you can't return the item that you've bought. In this case, you can't return your wish.
Now I know I'm dreaming.
So what'll it be, Master?
You're gonna grant me any 3 wishes I want, right?
Almost. There are a few provisos, a couple of quid pro quos.
Like...
You see, that's probably a reference. I don't know what that is, the guy with the gray hair.
No idea.
And it's probably connected with the expressions that he uses there, which is provisos, and quid pro quo. What are those?
Yeah, provisos, this is actually a new word for me. I don't think I've heard it outside of this scene. But he just means, I can understand from the context that he just means conditions or limitations. A lot of times when you mentioned commercials and so on, or if you're buying something on Amazon or another website, it might say terms and conditions apply. So it's just saying this, that you have to read the fine print. Quid pro quos, this comes from Latin. I think it basically just means like a favor for a favor. A more colloquial way of saying this is, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours.
Nice expression.
Rule number 1, I can't kill anybody.
Yeah, so don't ask.
Rule number 2, I can't make anybody fall in love with anybody else. You little punum there. Rule number 3,
I can't bring people back from the dead. It's not a pretty picture. I don't like doing it.
other than that, you got it.
You little ponem there. He's just inventing a word there. Or is he? Have you heard that before?
I thought it was Yiddish, which is a language that was spoken in Eastern Europe. It has roots in Hebrew, and especially post-World War II, there was a lot of immigration from Eastern Europe, of course, to the United States. And so a lot of people actually spoke this, and a lot of words made it into normal English. Like another one I can think of right now is schlep. Like if you have to schlep something somewhere, it means that you have to carry something heavy. So if you hear a word that kind of sounds like it almost has some German sound to it or something like that, a lot of times it might have Yiddish origins. And when I hear punum, it makes me think of, it sounds like Yiddish to me. And I feel like I've even heard this, just meaning to say, someone who's a child, especially, that's misbehaving.
Deep culture. Crazy.
Rule number 3.
I can't bring people back from the dead. It's not a pretty picture. I don't like doing it.
Other than that, you got it.
So in Rule 3, he says, I can't bring people back from the dead, which is another collocation.
Yeah, it's a phrasal verb, right? To bring back from. So, for example, every time I travel to Brazil, there's certain things that I like to bring back from there to Barcelona, because, I miss like the paçoquinha and pão de queijo, and so I might bring things so that I can eat them here or I can make them here, and so on. And it's a similar idea that when someone dies, they go somewhere, they go to heaven or they go to the afterlife, and so you're bringing them back from that place that they went to.
Provisos? You mean limitations on wishes? Some all-powerful genie can't even bring people back from the dead. I don't know, Abu. He probably can't even get us out of this cave.
Yeah, and now Aladdin is actually using connected speech here too. And it starts with the word probably, which gets reduced in American English. The shortest that you can make it is probably, which is how he's saying here, right?
Yeah, it can go from probably to probably, like even taking out all the B's.
The B's. So probably can even get us out of this cave. Sounds fast, but what he's doing there is just connecting those and reducing some of those words. So if you know what he's doing, you can just reproduce that too.
Robin Williams generally speaks fast. He speaks fast and uses connected speech, but Aladdin, he speaks pretty normal speed, even a bit slow, you could say. but it'll sound really fast because he's cutting and linking all these words together, right?
Looks like we're gonna have to find a way out of here.
Excuse me? Are you looking at me? Did you rub my lamp? Did you wake me up? Did you bring me here? And all of a sudden you're walking out on me?
He's doing like a Robin De Niro impression. What
little
that
bit,
sounds
yeah.
like to me.
Then who the hell else are you talking? Talking to me?
But then he says two expressions there that I think they're worth looking into. So all of a sudden, what is that?
Yeah, we say this all the time. It means that something happens quickly and unexpectedly. You might also even say out of the blue. That's a more idiomatic expression for it, right?
Mm-hmm. And then walking out on me.
And all of a sudden you're walking out on me?
What does it mean if you walk out on somebody?
It means to abandon someone, especially if they might be in need of your support or your help. And you could even use this to say, like, if someone ended their relationship, they walked out on someone, especially if they were living together, you know?
So now let's watch the clip a final time without subtitles to test your comprehension and everything you learned today.
Looks like such a beat up, worthless piece of junk. Hey, I think there's something written here, but it's hard to make out.
Hey! 10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. Hang on a second. Wow! Wow! Does it feel good to be out of there? I'm telling you, nice to be back, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, where are you from? What's your name?
Aladdin.
Aladdin. Hello, Aladdin. Nice to have you on the show. Can we call you Al, or maybe just Din? Or how about Laddie? Sounds like, here, boy. Come on, Laddie.
I must have hit my head harder than I thought.
Do you smoke? Mind if I do? Oh, sorry, Cheetah. Hope I didn't singe the fur. Yo, Rockman. Haven't seen you in a few millennia. Give me some tassel. Yeah, yo. Say, you're a lot smaller than my last master. Either that or I'm getting bigger. Look at me from the side. Do I look different to you?
Wait a minute. I'm your master?
That's right. He can be taught. What would you wish of me?
Be ever impressive.
The one contained, but never duplicated. Duplicated. Genie of the lamp. Right here, direct from the lamp. Right here for your very much wish fulfillment. Thank you.
Whoa. Wish fulfillment?
3 wishes to be exact. An ixnay on the wishing for more wishes. That's it. 3. Uno, dos, tres. No substitutions, exchanges, or refund.
Now I know I'm dreaming.
So what'll it be, master?
You're gonna grant me any 3 wishes I want, right?
Almost. There are a few provisos, a couple of quid pro quos.
Like...
Rule number 1, I can't kill anybody.
Yeah, so don't ask.
Rule number 2, I can't make anybody fall in love with anybody else. You little punum there. Rule number 3,
I can't bring people back from the dead. It's not a pretty picture. I don't like doing it.
other than that, you got it.
Provisos? You mean limitations? On wishes? Some all-powerful genie can't even bring people back from the dead. I don't know, Abu. You probably can't even get us out of this cave. Looks like we're gonna have to find a way out of here.
Excuse me? Are you looking at me? Did you rub my lamp? Did you wake me up? Did you bring me here? And all of a sudden you're walking out on me? I don't think so. Not right now. You're getting your wishes, so sit down! In case of emergency, the exits are here, anywhere. Keep your hands and arms inside the carpet.
Hi, yeah, thanks so much for joining us today. If you want to keep your learning going and have a lot of fun, you might want to check out this lesson next.
Is this where you live?
Yep, just me and Abu. Come and go as we please.
That sounds fabulous.
Well, it's not much, but it's got a great view. Wow, the palace looks pretty amazing, huh?
Oh, it's wonderful.
I wonder what it'd be like to live there. And have servants and valets.
Oh, sure. People who tell you where to go and how to dress.